I guess let's just go ahead and watch this video that I was going to watch anyway, and we'll see if anyone shows up.
Major breaking news here for you. It's official. Israel and the United States have now waged an illegal and offensive war against Iran. They are going for full regime change. This is not a little attack by any stretch of the imagination. I have a lot of stuff to get to here, so let's jump right in. And by the way, I warned you. I told you this was going to happen. I told you the negotiation.
Oh, and by the way, I'm still figuring all this out, but like if chats and stuff, I'm hoping that they show up on this like feed I got. If not, you know, there's always going to be some hiccups here, so okay, we'll keep watching.
Negotiations were a total ruse. Israel does not want peace. The U.S. does not want peace. They were faking negotiations in order to, lull them into a false sense of security to then attack them. That's exactly what they did. I told you that was what's going to happen, and I knew that not only because we were moving all this military stuff in the region, but because Trump has a history of doing exactly this. This is how he killed Qasem Soleimani, one of the top Iranian commanders who was fighting ISIS. He lured him with fake negotiations, then he murdered him in a terror attack. So here we are, except now they're going for full illegal and offensive regime change. I also told you, after the so-called 12-day war, that if you think this thing is over, I have a bridge to sell you. And yet again, that's exactly correct. I wish it wasn't. I wish I was wrong, but I'm not wrong. So let's go ahead and jump right in.
I wish you were wrong too, Kyle.
Right now. So the Associated Press says, breaking. Explosions heard in Tehran as Israel's defense minister confirms Israel has attacked Iran. So this is what Trump wanted. Trump wanted Israel to attack first, then Iran to counterattack, and then Trump gets to go, well, actually, technically it's defensive because we were attacked first. Again, even though Israel attacked first, they were our attack dog. It's all bullshit. It's all a game. It's all a con. It's all theater. We were always going to go in and back up Israel. That was the point. They wanted
lie, cheat, and steal. That's the American way.
By the way, here's something nobody's going to talk about. The President of the United States was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a honeypot blackmail operation. He was running a honeypot blackmail operation, and he worked with intelligence agencies all across the world, including Mossad. There's no doubt that the Israeli government has videos and pictures of Trump doing horrific things with underage girls. There's no doubt.
100%
And now
true.
Benjamin Netanyahu, how do we know he didn't blackmail Trump and hold it over his head, say, hey.
Well, to be fair, I think that I think this war was going to happen regardless. Like, I do 100% believe that the Netanyahu Israel Mossad has blackmail on Trump. Like, he definitely did that shit, but regardless, like, the Zionist forces in our country and the capitalist class were always, like, they've been building to this for like 50 years at this point. Like, I don't know. This was just kind of inevitable. It was just going to happen. So, like, I'm sure that having all the pictures of Trump or whatever, all the blackmail on Trump, just makes their job a little bit easier. But, like, I think that they were going to get their way regardless when it comes to this, because not only does it, like, has Israel wanted this for, like, ever, but, like, the capitalist class in America has wanted this for, decades as well. They want to destabilize it the same way they destabilized Libya. So, like, because then they can come in, swoop in, and make a shit ton of money off of the chaos, which they do every single time. So, I don't know. But let's see what else Kyle has to say.
Do this regime change or else, or these tapes come out. And by the way, the Iranians are saying if you do the attack, tapes will come out because they claim they have them. So we'll see if that's just a bluff or not. But when I look at this, man, it stinks to the high heavens.
Everyone has the tapes.
We have a blackmailed pedophile president. We do. And so now look at how
that's why we had to bomb him.
Okay. I got to keep going here because, like I said, I got a lot of stuff to
get to. I had the tapes
of me. So here we
with,
have one of the attacks on Tehran that landed. You could see smoke in the distance. Take a look at this.
I feel for the Iranian people right now.
And this is happening all across the Middle East, and we'll get to that as we move along here. But here's another video in Iran with smoke coming up because something was clearly attacked. Here we go. You can see it right there. This is a different one, by the way. I should point out, this is a different one that we're talking about. We're going to get to Qatar. We're going to get to Abu Dhabi. We're going to get to all the different ones because there's a lot of stuff that's under attack right now. Iran is not playing around. They're not sitting ducks. This isn't like the Venezuela operation. They're a much more formidable enemy, not only than Venezuela, but also compared to Iraq. Iran is a country of about 90 million people and
yeah.
is 4 times bigger than Iraq, and the government's been in
Iran's
existence
huge,
since
like-
the 1970s. This is not easy. What
And
we're
has a
doing here is
lot
not
more
easy. And of course,
military
this is totally,
capabilities than Iraq.
against
Like,
the
it's-
Constitution
yeah.
because Congress didn't approve this
Not
in
gonna
any
be
way, shape,
easy.
or form. You got Thomas Massey out there saying it right now. Democrats should be screaming for impeachment. Screaming. Dropsite News says U.S. forces are carrying out dozens of strikes
Yeah.
using aircraft from bases across the Middle East and from at least one aircraft carrier. Official told
Yeah, Democrats aren't going to do shit. Like, let's be real. They want this war just as much as all the neocons, Trump, all of them. Like the Dems, they're not going to save us. Like, so I don't know. I think the sooner people like understand that, like, I don't know. Whether this would have happened in the exact same way under a Kamala Harris presidency is kind of up in the air to me. Like I said, this has been a 50-year project across multiple administrations. So, to some extent, I think I think this is more spurred on by Israel's like they're seeing it as like a now or never sort of thing, right? So I think to some extent they might have forced the hand of America regardless, or it might have gone a little differently. Like Israel might have done the first strike by themselves or something, and then we waited for retaliation before we got involved. Like, you know, it would have been dressed up a little differently. But I still kind of think all of this was going to happen, whether it was Kamala or Trump in the driver's seat. So, I don't know.
the New York Times, U.S. officials also expect the operation to be a significantly larger one than last June's American strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. U.S. officials confirms U.S. carrying out strikes against Iran, not solely an Israeli action, will not be a small operation. Now, by the way, what happened? You guys told us you destroyed their nuclear capabilities, and anybody who told you otherwise was spreading fake news. Now you're saying we got to do this to destroy their nuclear capabilities. Jesus Christ.
I gotta think about this for a sec. What is this? Victory and pestilence bless you with victory to stun your enemies for 3. Does not work on players, only active. So that's all the same. So it doesn't matter which one I choose up here. Fire, war, the hunt, victory. Sure, we'll go with victory. Yeah.
All right, so now let's jump right into it, bro. Here is Donald Trump. I'm going to try to get through his full statement here. He does a late night speech. Because, by the way, the attack happened late night Eastern time, okay? But in Iran, it happened during the day, which is very bizarre. If you're actually trying to protect yourselves and get away with it, you would do it at night. But they chose to do it during the day in Iran, which again tells me they literally want the counterattack. Trump wants the counterattack. Trump wants American casualties so he can go out there and justify getting deeper involved in this war. It's very disturbing. It's very, very dark. But here we go. This is what he says.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime.
Literally everybody knows that's a lie. This is such nonsense. Imminent threats from Iran? They're not going to attack us. There was no threats whatsoever. They were negotiating. They thought, hey, maybe we'll get a deal out of this. Their foreign minister was saying that on TV yesterday. Nobody buys this. Who is this for?
A vicious group of very hard, terrible people.
The guy who starts a new war every other week is calling somebody else vicious. That's rich.
Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Targeting the United States, our
Totally.
troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries.
Trump just bragged.
Dude, he's so funny. Dude, that's all the shit we're doing. Like, we're waging death and destruction campaigns all across the world. Like, I don't know. Like, it really escalated with Gaza, but it's just been, like, getting worse and worse. And it's just like, I don't know. We're the bad guys, it feels like. Like, we've definitely entered our villain arc as America. You know, we'll see if we can ever recover. I mean, the one good thing I feel like that we ever did was destroy the Nazis and, you know, World War II, or at least partake in that, you know, be on the right side on that, which was not a guarantee, by the way. A lot of people think we were always going to, like, be on the side of good. Like, we very much could have been on the side of bad. We were trying to stay out of it for the most part, until it became sort of inevitable once Japan attacked us. But like, I don't know. We're definitely entering our villain arc right now.
About putting an Al-Qaeda leader as the head of Syria. I'm not kidding. He just bragged about putting an Al-Qaeda leader as the head of Syria. And he's saying Iran does terror attacks against it. You have got to be kidding me. By the way, you know why they chant death to America, right? Are you guys familiar with this? It's because we illegally and offensively overthrew their government in 1953 because they elected somebody named Mohammad Mossadegh who was going to nationalize their oil, which would screw Western oil corporations out of the profits from that.
We've been doing this for so long.
And we put a CIA puppet leader in control of the country, the Shah, and that's why they chant it. I don't know. If somebody illegally and offensively couped my government to steal my natural resources, I might say death to that country too.
Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of...
I mean, that's something that is so hard for Americans to, like, even, like, wrap their head around, of having another country come in and just constantly destabilize your country or all the countries around you, essentially trying to keep you down to an extent, right? Like, that's kind of the United States' entire playbook is containment. Like, they view everything through the lens of containment. So any, you know, lower middle powers, global south countries, it's always destabilize, destroy, have your capitalist, you know, billionaire pedophile overlords come in and take as much money as they possibly can, as much resources as they can, profit off of the rebuilding, you know, send in the contractors to just pilfer off as much money as they can from... this has just been the strategy for decades at this point. And, you know, the one thing that we can hope for is that it won't happen for decades more, but, you know, trying to predict how long the collapse of the American empire is going to take is kind of a fool's errand.
Of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the...
He's literally bringing up 1983. Bro is so cooked. You think this is going to land with the American people? You think this is going to help you with your shitty approval rating?
Barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members.
By the way, the fact that he said they're probably involved with it means there's almost no chance they're involved with it.
In Iraq, the regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years.
Why did you put your country by our military bases? How dare you put your country by our military bases? All we did was encircle your country with our military bases and with giant missiles and guns. And man, you attacked poor little us. We weren't doing anything wrong.
As well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels and international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer.
It's been terror,
From
guys.
Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel.
Dude, I don't think this shit plays well at all anymore. I think that the American people largely, at this point, kind of understand why Hamas did what it did on October 7th, and especially like the 100 October 7th that Israel has done since then or whatever. Like, I don't know. I think that it's I don't think that this plays very good anymore.
Slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our
They're all pawns,
citizens
dude.
hostage. It was brutal.
We're all pawns. Everybody's a pawn. Our military members are pawns. The Israelis who were on those settlements who got killed by Hamas were pawns. They're all pawns for the games of empire. It's... Dear God, we live in hell.
Is he going to talk about the fact that you had, like, in October 7th, like, every other day in Gaza for the past couple years?
Hey, that's what I said.
Thing like the world has never seen before. Iran
Is
is
he
the
watching my
world's
stream?
#1 state sponsor of terror, and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon.
And they don't. They didn't. they never have.
Yeah, I do firmly believe that. Like, I think that the fatwa that Khamenei had set up, like, I believe that he, like, legitimately believed that. Like, he legitimately believed in, like, that it's a sin to, like, develop nuclear weapons. That nobody should have that sort of destructive powers or whatever. I think that his death now is going to lead to a much more hardline approach. If I were them, I'd say, get nukes today. Like, hey China, can you like just send over like, just one little nuke, just send it over. We'll get it all set up, and then we'll be nuclear armed, and then finally America and Israel will have to stop fucking around with us, But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if the fatwa remains after Khamenei's death. I kind of have a feeling it's not going to, though. So
They said they don't want one. Literally this week, they said they don't want one. If I was advising them, I would say you probably should get one.
Exactly.
Because if you had one, all of this would be avoided. They couldn't do this to you.
Look at North
if you had
Korea.
it.
They don't do
Look,
shit
Kim
to North
Jong-un
Korea.
Has a nuke. They can't fuck with him. Libya, under Gaddafi, they gave up their weapons of mass destruction, and then he was toppled and sodomized with a bayonet. Okay? Saddam Hussein in Iraq, same thing. Didn't have weapons of mass destruction. Look what happened to him. It's almost like the message the world is getting is, I better get nukes ASAP. If I don't, I'm a sitting duck.
Every middle power, every
Say it
soft
again.
power,
They
or
can never have
middle,
a
lower
nuclear
power needs to
weapon.
get nukes as
It's
soon as
kind of
possible.
crazy. He's saying this. Meanwhile, he ripped up the JCPOA, the Obama Iranian nuclear agreement. There's no debate around that. It just worked. It's just a fact. The IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, says they verified over a dozen times that Iran was following it perfectly.
Well, it worked if your goal was to prevent them from getting a nuke. It didn't work if your goal was to find a reason to invade them and just do full Iraq regime change war again in the region. Like, I don't know. We're so cooked. The empire's dying. We're lashing out. Like, it's rough. It's rough.
And all we had to do was give them back their own money that we stole through sanctions. Literally, that's all we had to do. That's it. So, you're the reason there's no peace. You are the problem. You are the issue. You ripped up the agreement. You violated the agreement and ripped up the agreement. Now you have the nerve to smack them around and say, make a new agreement with me where I put even harsher terms on you. Are you kidding me? It's fucking absurd.
That is why, in Operation Midnight Hammer last June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan.
But now we have to attack them again because of their nuclear program.
After that attack, we warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to
They
practice
didn't
evil.
know what was happening. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it.
I'm done, bro. I'm done. Oh, my word. Who buys this? Bro, you're building the Fourth Reich, homie. You're building the Fourth Reich.
Yeah.
I mean, how many evil actions can... You were threatening to steal
I
Greenland
mean, it's a little bit
last
different.
week.
It's a little
Denmark
bit
is our
different than
ally.
the
They
Fourth
control
Reich,
Greenland. You're
but
threatening to
it
steal
is
it
very
last
similar.
week. You're threatening to steal Panama.
When we start going like legit after Canada and Mexico, that's when I'll be ready to say, yeah, it's Fourth Reich time. But so far, it's all been kind of standard American Empire shit. We're just going after like bigger, more difficult people than we used to. So, like, if you compare Iran to, like, say, Vietnam or Iraq or Afghanistan, it's like, 20, or I would say, like, well, I guess it's like 4 times bigger than Iraq, right? But their military capabilities are so much more advanced that it's like, I don't know, the more, it's like the weaker we get as a country, the stronger the enemies we go after, and I think there's an inevitable downfall to that, but we'll see.
You're threatening to bomb Mexico, okay? You kidnapped the leader of Venezuela and started stealing their oil, and now you have hundreds of millions of dollars sitting in your own personal account overseas in Qatar. And the fact that he calls anybody else evil, bro, I am done.
Just as it has for decades and decades, they've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take
They literally
it
said it 100 times over.
To rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles.
It's just lie, cheat, and steal the American way.
Very good friends and allies in Europe.
From the moment we were born as a country, lie, cheat, and steal.
And could soon reach the American homeland.
Oh, he did it. He did the thing. He did the thing. Oh my God, he did the thing. They have the weapons of mass destruction. It could soon hit us. Who are you, Mark Levin? Are you Mark Levin? Is that who you are? Are you fucking Netanyahu?
Levin.
Like, this is the most pathetic propaganda I've ever seen in my life. Nobody in motherfucking Cleveland is sitting there going, you know, my biggest problem is Iran. No, the Islamic Revolution sure was fucked up in 1979, was it? What do you, like, oh God, yeah. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna crash out.
That's where I'm like, I don't
Just
think this
imagine
plays
how
well.
emboldened this regime
This
would
doesn't
be
play
if they
well
ever
in
had
middle
and actually were
America.
armed
As
with
someone who
nuclear
lives in middle
weapons
America.
as a means to deliver their message. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our...
The guy who just said, we shouldn't even have elections anymore. Going, the wicked dictatorship. Homie, that's you! Look in the mirror.
Core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We're going to annihilate their navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces.
Yeah, they're the ones destabilizing the region.
IEDs or
not Israel, the country that has been bombing every single surrounding country, a seven-front war of choice that they have partaken in. Yeah, definitely Iran's the one destabilizing everything, for sure.
Bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound and kill thousands and thousands of people, including many Americans. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon. This regime will soon learn that no one should
But I thought we blew them all up last time. How'd they get it again?
I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration, and there is no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication.
I mean,
my
that part's
administration
kinda
has
true.
taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel.
That doesn't, by the way, mean, like, just because we have the strongest military in the world does not by any means mean we're going to win, quote unquote. Getting a strategic victory out of this will be, like, next to impossible. I think it'll just be a lot of death and destruction, and then it'll end up with probably more hardline factions in Iran taking control, and then I don't really know what's going to happen after that. But
in the region, even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in
pawns. They're
That's
pawns.
You, dog. Don't give me this bullshit. Everybody knows there would be 0 U.S. casualties if you and Israel didn't start another illegal
all of our
offensive
soldiers,
war against a country
everybody,
that
they're
didn't
all
have
pawns.
There would
all
be
the Iranians are pawns.
0 casualties. This is Trump sacrificing innocent Americans.
I'll say it again. They're all pawns to be used by the pedophile billionaires at the top of our country who are, want to wage these wars and destabilize these countries to make out like bandits in the aftermath. Like, we know this. It was released in the Epstein files. Like, that's just the way that it is. Like, it's really up to America and Americans to start dreaming bigger about what they want from their fucking country. We gotta stop this shit, and it's not gonna happen through just like electoral means. Like, people need to start getting organized, especially around class and labor issues. Get ready for general strikes. Like, these things, the destabilizing things that we're doing now, they're just gonna keep getting worse as America's power starts to wane more and more. And unless we have some sort of organizations already built to fight back against the you know, the administration that will inevitably turn on us, whether it's this one or not, like, to prevent us from doing the worst excesses of our pedophile billionaire overlords, like, we're all gonna be fucked, so. I'm really hoping I get just like one viewer at some point, just one person. But we'll see. I really can't, I mean, I assume that there's nobody, like it says 0 viewers up here. One sec. I'm just gonna open up my stream real quick to make sure. One sec. Oh, yep, there I am. Okay, yeah, nobody's in there yet. I'm getting used to this whole Streamlabs thing. I'm assuming that the chats will show up if people come in here, but.
To the blood gods of the military-industrial complex and the Israel lobby. That's what he's doing. I need you to understand that. That's what this is. And again, there was reporting he literally wants American troops to be killed in the Iranian counterattack after the Israeli first strike.
Yeah.
So that he can go, well, now we have to go in and we have no...
Well, because, you know, he's trying to avoid all of the work that has to be done if you want to set up a nice false flag. It's too much work, you know, like he wants to play some golf, he wants to hang around at Mar-a-Lago, you know, like he's getting older, right? Like, do you know how much time and effort it takes to plan a false flag operation? To have some American soldiers die at the hands of like the United States government or Israel without anybody finding out? Like, it takes a lot of effort, okay? And he just wants to avoid that. So, like, you know, he's just trying to save time and money. So he's just saying, Iran, if you could just, like, please just kill a couple of our guys. Come on. If you could just kill a couple of our guys, then we can just save ourselves all this hassle of setting up a false flag operation. And then the American people will get pissed off and we can go invade you guys. It's like, oh God.
But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission.
Oh.
We pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran.
Oh.
We ask God to protect all...
Motherfucker, you're the threat. You are the evil. You have ICE Gestapo's thugs shooting innocent Americans in the face and murdering them on a regular basis. You're building 23 concentration camps. And he has the nerve. Oh my God. I'm thinking of the old, like, Muhammad Ali line and updating it to, the Iran never did shit to me. The Iranians never did shit to me, right? Like, what do you say? No,
we'll finish this Kyle video, or at least go a little further. But I think I'll probably. I might watch this breakthrough news video afterwards.
That's what you need to understand. It's working on.
Check out this.
The Kool-Aid drinking death cult.
This is just my account or whatever, but the Owl City. That's a classic for any you know, old heads like there. Anybody who has a foot in the grave like me. Like, this is a classic album.
Cultists of MAGA, yes, they'll go for this. His approval rating with them, or the support for this move among them, it'll go from 50% to 95%, like that. But everybody else is gonzo. I'll make a prediction right now. His approval rating, at some point in the near future, is going to be in the 20s. You're going to have a major poll that has met like 29%. Watch.
Our heroes in harm's way.
I mean, probably, but doesn't
with his
matter.
help, the men and women of the armed forces will prevail. We have the greatest in the world, and they will prevail. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces,
lay down
all
your
of the
arms.
police, I say tonight,
We
that
promise.
you must lay down your weapons.
I knew it. We promise we won't kill you. I swear, we promise, pinky promise, we will not kill you. We will not kill all of your men, women, and children. We promise, I swear, you can take us at our word.
And have complete immunity, or in the alternative, face certain death. So
He says that as the mission is ongoing literally right now to murder all of them. So that's a lie,
This is
this idea like,
so
oh,
funny.
there'll be a way out. No, you're not. There's no way out. What are you talking about?
lay down your arms. You will be treated fairly with total immunity.
This is
Yeah, if people wonder why, like, you know, this offer never works, like, throughout history, it's, like, I mean, just look at Gaza, right? Like, can you imagine if Hamas laid down their weapons, like, what the fuck they would do to the Palestinian people? Like, dear God, it would be like, I don't know, like, definitely like concentration camps, like all the same shit that Nazi Germany did. Like, yeah, never do it. Never give up your weapons. And get a nuke yesterday.
literally what they did with Hamas, right? Lay down your weapons and everything will be great. Meanwhile, like, as they're speaking, they're doing another carpet bombing raid where they're murdering women and children, right? Like, if they keep their weapons or give up their weapons, they're still going to do the genocide and the ethnic cleansing. It's been live streamed for fucking years straight. We're not
Exactly.
stupid. We weren't born yesterday. It's the same thing. You're doing the murdering of those people as you are giving this speech. Who are you kidding? You're not. One last chance as you fucking shoot the guy right in the face. This is bullshit.
Or you will face certain death. Finally, to
Ah,
the
that
great
was
proud
empty.
people of Iran,
Like-
I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished,
Jesus.
take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
He thinks we live in a movie.
Yeah.
Like, random people who aren't armed, like the local baker and the accountant, are gonna
Yeah.
storm the presidential palace and be like,
It's not gonna happen, dude. Like, I'm just saying, like, they thought this would happen last time too, during the 12-Day War, which I cringe every time I have to fucking say that name, but they thought that the Iranians would, like, rise up against their government then too. It didn't happen then. It's not gonna happen now. We love believing. I assume that they actually believe their own propaganda, the way, like, with the strategy that they're using, because, like, that's the only reason that I could possibly think that they're doing the things that they do. But, like, it's not gonna happen, man. Like, it's just not. I mean, maybe I'll eat my words later. Maybe we'll see the Iranian people rise up or whatever. Even so, if it's backed by America, it'll be surrounded by death and destruction, the likes of which will be significantly worse than what the Ayatollah did. But I don't know.
this is ours now. And they're gonna write a constitution 7 years ago. Like, this is not how war works in the real world, you dipshit. You just emboldened every gangster, every criminal
I finally
in the
get to
country.
get rid of my Reshi
The people
raps.
who have the muscle currently are the ones who have the power. Oh my God, bro.
For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to
Oh
do
God, this
tonight.
bit.
Now you have a president who's
begging
giving
us.
you what you want. So let's see how
They
you
were,
respond.
Iranians were begging
America
us.
is back.
They were begging us. They said, that's cool. That's cool. It was filled to the brim with radical religious fanatics. All those 12-year-old girls. Yes. They were begging us to blow them all to smithereens.
See, there's the out. When everything falls apart, it's gonna. The Iranian people weren't ready. They didn't do the right thing. I did everything perfect. Like, he's already giving himself the outs, right? He's giving himself outs when this thing blows up.
With overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close.
The thing that I don't understand, though, is I don't really see where this goes from a U.S. perspective. Like, it feels like there's no strategy whatsoever. So I don't think the Iranians are going to have some popular revolution in the midst of being bombed. Like, I think that it will consolidate power around the IRGC, probably. I think that it, like, so they said they were planning on doing this bombing campaign for 2 to 3 days, and it's like, okay, so then what, though? Like, if the things that you hope to happen don't come to fruition, then what? Uh, like, do you just stop and pretend that you won like you did in the 12-Day War and then just go home? And I think one of Iran's biggest mistakes that they made after that 12-Day War was they allowed the United States to control the de-escalation. Like, I think that they should have, because what basically happened at the end of that war is that, like, we ran out of missile interceptors, right? So, like, if we kept going, then it would have caused exponentially more damage to Israel, right? Like, it would have started going up significantly after that point. So we said, okay, we need to pause this so that we can get some more interceptors. And then Iran accepted the ceasefire. And I think that that was one of their biggest mistakes. They should have, even if it wasn't for a much longer period of time, they should have said, no, we're not ready. We're not ready to de-escalate yet. They should have controlled the de-escalation, and they should have just kept it going for a few more days. Let that sort of exponential damage, like, hit Israel for just like a couple more days, and then said, okay, now we're ready to de-escalate. We'll do a ceasefire or whatever on our terms, like something along those lines. Because then you've shown them time and time again that, like, you're going to allow them to stop whenever like, you're going to allow the Americans to stop whenever they're done or whatever, and they won't keep facing consequences after that. I think that if they had done what I said, though, then they would have been a little bit more reticent to join the war, because they would have thought, well, we might not be able to control the de-escalation. So,
Close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. May God bless the brave men and women of America.
All right, shut the fuck up. He's got to be impeached. He's got to be impeached.
It's not going to happen,
Just
pal.
impeach him. Hit him with the
I love
25th
you,
Amendment.
but it's not going to happen.
Do something. This is not acceptable. Okay, there's evidence he has early Alzheimer's. A fucking
Doesn't matter.
brain that's just leaking dementia is now making global war decisions.
That's my
which, by the way,
president.
could easily spark World War III. What he's done here could
I think-
easily spark.
yeah.
What could cascade into World War III. There's already going to be
It could already be in
issues.
it.
There's already going to be pain felt on the part of the American people that we haven't felt in all these other wars that we've done. Okay? This is just crazy to me that anybody could sit there and watch this happen and not do anything about it. By the way, we'll get to, there's protests already popping up. We'll talk about that later. But Democrats, any elected Democrats, for the love of God, they were so fucking chicken shit in the lead up to this. Chuck Schumer wanted this to happen. Hakeem Jeffries wanted this to happen. They blocked the Iran War Powers Resolution to try to stop Trump from doing this. But then they allowed it when they got word, hey, he's going to do the attack this weekend, so schedule the vote for after this
Exactly.
weekend. And then, hey, your hands are clean.
Exactly.
Bro. So now they get to vote no. It's like,
Yeah. No, exactly. They should have voted, like, first and foremost, like, let's start from the obvious. Whether they voted to stop the war or not would not have changed what Trump does. He does not give a shit. But we needed their names to be on record before this happened. I don't really know. I think that now they will probably all vote against it, as long as it doesn't pass, as long as there's enough Republicans to make sure that it doesn't pass. Because I don't think they want it to pass either. I don't think the Democrats want this War Powers Resolution to pass, but they also don't want to be on the record as having voted against it, right? So that's kind of the game that they'll be playing. So we'll see either no Democrats support it when they finally bring it up, or we'll see. Sorry, I should say that differently. We'll see either no Democrats. We'll see all the Democrats support the ending the war resolution or whatever. If there's enough Republicans that will block it from happening. If there are some Republican defections, then we'll probably see, like, some Republican defections. I mean, that would potentially allow it to pass. Then I think we would see a few Democrats come out in order to just ensure that it doesn't pass. Because at the end of the day, they also want Iran. They also wanted to go to war with Iran. There's never been a war that the Democrats haven't been giddy as hell to get into. So Same with Republicans, of course, but like, yeah, foreign policy is just uniparty in this country.
Oh no, I was against this all along. No, you weren't. For a fucking week, you dragged your feet. You didn't say shit. They were broadcasting that they wanted to attack Iran. You didn't say Dickie McGee's acts the whole time, because secretly, you wanted him to attack Iran. Because you guys are also bought by the Israel lobby. They need to fucking resign. Trump needs to not only fucking be impeached, but also locked up for
Kyle's
this shit,
cortisol levels
okay?
are going
And
through the
Democrats,
roof
you need
right
to
now,
resign.
man.
You need to resign. Hakeem Jeffries is not a Democrat. Chuck Schumer is not a Democrat. Bro, 2% of Democratic voting base wanted this, and they represented that 2%. I can't. But like I said, we got a lot more to get to. This is what CNN is publishing even before the Ellisons come in. So as you all know, the Ellisons are now going to buy CNN if it doesn't get blocked by a lawsuit, which means right-wing
Oh my God,
Zionist
wait,
hacks
one
are now
second.
going to own like every media outlet in the country. They're posting, timing of U.S. Israel attack on Iran bears symbolic meaning in Judaism? Okay, this is the most anti-Semitic shit I think I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my
Are you
God.
trying to make anti-Semitism spike colossally? The argument...
Timing of U.S. Israel attack on Iran bears symbolic meaning in Judaism. Ahead of the upcoming Jewish holiday of Purim, worshippers read the specific. Jesus Christ, dude. This yeah, I don't know. This is insanity. I guess all of our, billionaire, pedophile, elite capitalists, like, I guess they're all actual. I can't tell if they're all actually like Christian Zionists who think that the world is going to end as soon as this happens or something, or if they're or if they think this will play well or something. I really have no idea. Like, this is insanity. Anyway, Kyle, get back in your corner. He's in the corner of the corner.
you're making is like, hey, this illegal and offensive war against a country that didn't attack us, yeah, that's all about Judaism. That's gonna make people go, well, fuck that then, right? Fuck that religion. That's what they're gonna do.
Also,
this is some anti-Semitic
Kyle,
shit. And by the way, they literally
you don't
mentioned
get to be
Amalek
bigger
in this
than me.
article. Amalek is the shit you heard Netanyahu say
There you go.
to justify murdering all the men, women, and children and animals in Gaza. Okay? This is insane that they let this article run. This is insane. It's preposterous that they let this article run. All right, but I still have more for you. Tehran preparing for retaliation. The response will be crushing, said Iranian officials to Reuters. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Just in, Iran in total internet blackout with national connectivity at 4%. So they jammed up the whole internet before they did this. Breaking, Israel will target missile storage sites, production facilities, and launchers, while the U.S. will focus on the Iranian nuclear
school that
project
they
and
shot
additional
must have had
targets
so many
related
missiles.
to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Council and Iranian government, according to a plan presented to Trump. This is what this guy used to say when he wasn't president. Look at this. Trump said in 2011, in order to get elected, Barack Obama will start a
this
war
is
with
a
Iran.
classic. There's a video of this
2012,
too, I think.
Barack Obama will attack Iran in order to get re-elected. 2013, I predict that President Obama will at some point attack Iran in order to save face. 2013 again. Remember that I predicted a long time ago that President Obama will attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly, not skilled.
I hope that
So
wasn't an
understand,
important
this
choice
is how
I
he
made.
thinks. He's letting you know how he thinks.
Ooh,
He thinks,
a new
oh
ring?
shit, if your poll numbers are bad, just
Hey,
attack
Spurs.
Iran,
They're
and
exactly the
people will
same.
rally around the flag, and you'll become popular again.
There's
What
no
he doesn't
difference.
realize is that's
Hey,
not how it
Spurs.
works. Like, to do a war, it requires relentless propaganda. You have to build public support. You have to manufacture consent, as the phrase goes. And he didn't do that at all. He didn't do that even a little bit. And so here we are. His numbers are going to collapse even further. He looks like a colossal idiot because he is a colossal idiot. But now you know. Is this an attempt to distract in part from the Epstein files, for example? Fucking absolutely.
Sure,
Isn't it an
but they would
attempt
have
to
done it
distract
anyway.
from the economic calamity? Absolutely. And again, this is only going to make that worse too. This is only going to make that worse too. And by the way, the Epstein files aren't going away. And the reason they're not going away is because, like I said, Netanyahu has dirt on Trump from Epstein. Epstein worked with Mossad. That means they have a vault in Tel Aviv with pictures and videos of Trump with underage girls, okay? It's very possible
Probably.
that they held that over his head to say, you're going to do the full regime change here. We have a blackmailed pedophile president, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's bringing it up.
This is our big,
Oh my
beautiful
God,
president.
bro. Jesus Christ, dog. Holy shit. This one is from 2019. Not
That's
that
my
long ago.
president.
The United States has spent $8 trillion fighting and policing in the Middle East. Thousands of our great soldiers have died or been badly wounded. Millions of people have died on the other side. Going into the Middle East is the worst decision ever made. So now, I'm going to make it even harder. Now I'm going to go even further into the Middle East. Now I'm going to do even more war. Remember the video of him on the debate stage in 2016 talking about how the war in Iraq was a big fat mistake. It was a beauty, and it was a real beauty, and your brother made it, Jeb. Remember that? That's like how he got popular. But now here we are. He's worse than a neocon. He's a neocon, colonialist, imperialist. He's more of a warmonger than George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. Okay, Dropsite says, important. Hours before President Trump announced major combat operations to achieve regime change in Iran, Oman's foreign minister, the chief mediator in U.S.-Iran nuclear talks, told CBS a breakthrough deal could be reached tomorrow and warned that military action would derail it. Well, that's the thing, bro. They played you guys for fools. This is what Trump does. He lulls you into a false sense of security and pretends like, oh yeah, we're about to make that deal. This is going to be great. And then he fucking murders you. This is what he does because he's a charlatan.
Yeah,
He's a
I mean,
scumbag. He's a vile...
I don't think that they believed him, though, at this point. Like, maybe last time they kind of believed him that he was trying to reach a deal. I don't think they... that's why it was so fast to respond. They knew that this was going to happen soon.
Wretched cretin. Remember this one? The pro-peace ticket. I remember this. Do you guys remember how many segments did I do before the election where I was fucking screaming at people, going, no, Trump is a massive warmonger. No, I was going through his whole record in his first term, talking about all the hawkish actions he did, talking about, you know, the increase in the drone war, 432%, talking about the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, the attempt to do regime change in Venezuela and put in Juan Guaido, talking about him hiring every neocon, increasing the military budget every single year. I went through with a fine-tooth comb. Hey, we bombed Somalia, we stayed in Iraq, we stayed in Afghanistan. His first raid as military president, military raid as president, killed a young American girl. Okay? I gave all these, I said, he's a warmonger, look at his record. Fucking fell on deaf ears. All the right-wingers, even the right-wingers who like to think they're anti-war, right? They were like, nope, Kamala's gonna be worse. And it's like,
yeah, okay. This is one thing that I actually get a little frustrated with Kyle's commentary on. I think he keeps wanting an admission of guilt or something from the people who got him elected or whatever, or like helped get him elected, like the podcast sphere and Rogan sphere and stuff. But Kamala made, like, and I do believe Kamala would have been better than Trump, obviously, but Kamala did not give any indication that she would in her campaign. Kamala did all this stuff that made it seem like she was going to be a warmonger. She said she wanted the most lethal military in the world. She palled around with Liz Cheney and like respected Dick Cheney and all this shit. Like she basically told everybody that she is not the peace president. She's not the peace candidate. So that, I mean, a lot of that falls on her as well. Like, in the Democratic Party in general. Yeah.
They were making fucking goofy-ass memes like this, and I was telling him, you're wrong, you're fucking wrong. We're gonna get into a massive war if he gets back in there. He's gonna go nuts. And that's exactly what happened. The pro-peace ticket, my ass cheeks. Anybody who argued or thought Trump would be more anti-war than Kamala Harris should be tarred and feathered and launched into the motherfucking sun. They're calling it...
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously more pro-war than Kamala Harris or whatever. Like, but the problem, I still kind of disagree with this analysis that Kamala, like, I think that Israel was going to make this war happen in this administration, like within this 4-year period, no matter what. They have been building towards war with Iran for 50 years. Like, one presidency is not going to make or break it. It's more about the macro factors of just Israel knows that it's now or never. Like, Israel feels backed into a corner. Like, they feel like they're never going to have as much support as they have to date from America. And they're right. They're 100% right. They will never have more support from America than they have today. And so I just think that they would have forced Kamala's hand too if she was in office. I think some of this stuff especially when it comes to foreign policy, really does not change that much between the candidates. And that'll probably piss off a lot of Democrats that I say that, but I truly don't think that I do think that this war would have happened if Kamala was president as well.
Operation Epic Fury. That's what they're calling it. Operation Epic Fury is the goofy ass, 4chan ass, unfuckable dweeb ass name that they've given to it. Like some loner
They're all
14-year-old
toddlers,
white
dude.
nationalist came up with the name. Jesus Christ.
It's
You've got to
so
vote for
funny.
Trump, guys. He's the peace candidate. The one guy who will stop World War III. And we
They
got
think they're
Sneeko,
so
we got
cool. Like,
Tim
it's
Pool, we got Tucker
cringe
Carlson, we
as
got
fuck.
Dave Smith. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there, aren't there? There's a lot of these types out there, aren't there? Holy shit. Remember this one? Stephen Miller, 2024. 2024. To anyone still gullible enough to fall for scummy media hoaxes, Trump said warmongering neocons love sending your kids to die for wars they would never fight themselves. Liz Cheney is Kamala's top advisor.
Exactly.
Liz wants to
See?
invade the whole Middle East.
What did I
Kamala
say?
equals
What
World
did I
War
just
III.
say?
Trump
What did I just
equals
say?
Peace. Unfucking believable. Dean Withers is right underneath here saying, hey man, you should probably delete this. It makes you look pretty fucking stupid. But that's the thing, Dean. Like, they were lying, and they knew they were lying. They don't care. They don't care. When you call them on it, when you show, hey, look at this, they go, who cares? I'm still in power. I
Yeah,
got the guns.
I mean, that's
And by
true.
the way, their next
They
step
don't
is
care.
going to be trying to steal the U.S. election. As Trump just ranted against this vicious dictatorship in Iran, he's creating his own dictatorship of his own in this country. That's what's happening. Ready for this one?
Oh, this is the video I was talking about.
This one, again, was during Obama's term. Listen to what he said here.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Onion Person says, just run this on TV every day. Yes, they should. Dropsite says, important, an Israeli defense official tells Reuters the operation had been planned for months in coordination with Washington, and the launch date was decided weeks ago.
Definitely.
As I told you, the negotiations were a ruse. They were never real. And everybody should have known that, because if you followed this thing from the beginning, we had a
What
perfect
am I
peace
trying to do
agreement.
with
It
this
was
voice?
done. It was over. Obama negotiated it. It was working perfectly. Trump violated it and ripped it
Raider
up, and
Ash
everything
remains?
since then was just kayfabe and was a show because they wanted to do the illegal and offensive war to do regime change. Okay, that's the bottom
I
line.
see.
They want a puppet government in there, and they want somebody who's not going to be that have any power in the region to push back against Israel's ambitions to create a greater Israel and become a global superpower themselves. So just know, it's admitted. The IDF is now saying, yeah, of course, we were never going to fucking make a deal. So
That's never
don't
going to
buy
happen.
any of the propaganda, guys.
Israel is way too small. They're like, without us, they would be nothing. They're just an extension of us. Now, we are the greatest superpower in the world, so, like, you know, but probably not forever. I don't think that Israel will be able to exist in the same way that it has, like, in the future indefinitely. But I don't know. Maybe they could, but maybe they could ally with other people in a multipolar world or something and still be able to maintain their apartheid. But I don't know. I really don't think that it's possible for them to do that indefinitely.
We know who the baddie is in this situation. It's not that tough to figure out. Breaking, Houthi movement announces the closure of the Bab el-Mandeb Strait in the Red Sea and
Round
warns
two.
that they will target U.S. and Israeli ships.
Classic.
And they're literally saying now, like, we're shutting down the entire Red Sea. The entire Red Sea is being shut down. And that will lead to an oil supply shock here in the U.S. There's already talks about they're trying to shut down the Strait of Hormuz also. That, again, that'll lead to massive economic issues here in the U.S. I'm telling you, global economic issues, actually. People are not ready to deal with that pain for this stupid fucking war. For this war that nobody wanted, except
That's
the Israel
true.
lobby. Okay? I'm telling you, man, they're playing with fucking fire. They're playing with fire. There's going to be a colossal groundswell against this, the likes of which we probably haven't seen in modern American history. I mean, there's going to be... People have not fully wrapped their minds around all of the unintended consequences as a direct result of this attack. Clash Report says,
Just
breaking, first
be on the lookout, though. I'm telling you all right now. Be on the lookout for false flags. If there's ever going to be a time that they will do a false flag, it's going to be this. Like, it's going to be for this. Like, when people start becoming disenfranchised in, like, not wanting, like, openly stating that they don't want this war, as opposed to, like, right now, a lot of the hogs are kind of, like, tentatively accepting it. They're like, well, I didn't want another war, but as long as it's fast and quick and whatever, like, it doesn't drag on, then I guess whatever. Like, if we get our results without having to lose a bunch of resources and troops. But, like, as soon as it starts dragging on, it'll become very unpopular even with his base. And at that point is when, you know, mark my words, there'll be some sort of, like, something that happens that'll be kind of, like, a little strange, you know? Like, how did that happen? How did they manage to get a drone all the way across the Atlantic Ocean or something, you know? Like,
of Iranian ballistic missiles launched towards Israel, 30 missiles reportedly fired. Support for attacking Iran. This was YouGov on February 23rd. Opposed 49. Support is only 27. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen a number of polls on this question. The high number I've ever seen is 28% supporting war with Iran. The low number is 5% supporting war with Iran. Trump just did that with literally no congressional approval, so it's totally illegal and unconstitutional. And
Congress, what's that?
No support from the people
Constitution?
whatsoever.
Never heard of it.
Stop and think about this. You think that's going to end well? Especially when we start seeing U.S. casualties, when we're already seeing U.S. military bases getting wiped off the motherfucking map. Okay? So, like, you think, how, in what world does this end well? Where nobody wants this, you just did the attack, you had zero congressional approval, you didn't even make an argument as to why we have to do this. It's just incredible. This is amateur hour. Not only are they incredibly evil, they're also just stupid and incompetent. So here you have Mehdi Hassan pointing this out. This Noah Tishby lady, who, it says, 2 times New York Times best-selling author and former special envoy for combating anti-Semitism, okay?
Okay.
She posted a video. I'm in a bomb shelter in Israel right now. Sirens just rang across the country as an attack with Iran appears to be imminent. Here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm in Israel.
Why are you choosing to be there?
The sirens and went down to the shelters.
Like, you're rich. Get the fuck out of there.
So, Mehdi Hassan says, they illegally bomb another country without any justification for the second year running, and then they put out videos as if they're the innocent victims.
Yeah.
Beyond parody. That's exactly right. And prepare yourselves. You're going to see a lot of this. This cry-bully bullshit. Cry-bully bullshit. The UK Navy says significant military activity is happening at the Strait of Hormuz right now. Al Jazeera, breaking news. Breaking, Israel attacks southern Lebanon in latest near-daily ceasefire
Hezbollah, where the fuck are you?
Also
get your ass in gear.
Southern Lebanon at the moment.
Get your ass in gear.
The chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff was dismissed after warning Trump about the consequences of an attack on Iran. According to Reuters, after the warning from the head of the Pentagon's Joint Chiefs of Staff, Fred Katcher, to Trump about an attack on Iran leaked to the media, he was dismissed from his position, having served
I'll let it play though.
in it for just 3 months. Now, this one I have to say, I'm not sure this
Otherwise, I'll never get through.
I couldn't find anything else on it, but I do know for sure that there were some people in the military in particular providing pushback, saying, I don't know if this is going to go well. Like, this is not going to happen. This is not going to be like the Venezuela thing where you think we're in and out and that's it ski. Like, no, this is a very complex thing we're talking about here, and to actually fully achieve regime change is not a walk in the park by any stretch of the imagination. So, clearly, those voices did not win out. And Trump went with the Israel lobby and Netanyahu and the warmongers and the imperialists. So just absolutely disturbing stuff. Lindsey Graham says the end of the largest state sponsor of terrorism is upon us. God bless President Trump, our military, and our allies in Israel. Freedom for the long-suffering Iranian people. This operation is necessary and long justified. I love that he's saying this is necessary and he wants freedom for the Iranian people. Hey, asshole, how about freedom for the American people? Aren't you supporting the ICE Gestapo thugs, the secret police, the paramilitary, rounding up innocent people, throwing them in concentration camps, sending them places where they get raped and tortured? Aren't you supporting that? Aren't you siding with the agency as they shoot Americans in the face? Aren't you siding with them as they don't even abide by the Constitution and don't use warrants? You want to talk about free somebody? Free the United States of America from your fucking fascism.
That's what I say. That's what I keep saying. I'm like, China, please invade us now. Like, please. Please, China, please. Save us. Liberate us. Please. I just want liberation. Just liberate us, China.
Christ, man. It's just so insane. The way that these people talk, the way they act. Netanyahu says, my brothers and sisters, citizens of Israel, just an hour ago, Israel and the United States embarked on an operation to remove the existential threat. Oh, please, you're the existential threat posed by the terrorist regime in Iran. I thank our great friend, President Donald Trump, for his historic leadership. For
Dude,
47
Kyle.
years, the Ayatollah's regime has chanted death to Israel, death to America, and has
Kyle,
spilled
his
our blood,
cortisol
murdering
levels
Americans, and
through the
massacring its own
roof.
people. This murderous terrorist regime must not be allowed to arm itself with nuclear weapons that would enable it to threaten all of humanity. Oh my God, bro. Your nukes are the ones that, they have illegal nukes. They threaten humanity. You're the ones who threaten humanity. There's already been a number of stories. Jonathan Pollard, an Israeli spy, openly said we should threaten the U.S. with nukes if they don't do regime change for us in Iran. Okay? You're the psychopath. You guys just did a live stream genocide. You're going to wag your finger at anybody else.
What the heck?
God, bro. Our joint operation will create the conditions for the brave Iranian people to take their fate into their own hands. The time has
Yikes.
come for
That
all
was
parts
rough.
of the Iranian people, the Persians, Kurds, Azeris, Baloch, Awazis, to cast off the yoke of tyranny and bring freedom and peace-loving values to Iran.
Jesus
I call on you,
Christ.
citizens of Israel, to heed the instructions.
This is
of the
just
Home Front
Orwell
Command
shit,
in the coming
dude.
days
We
during
live
Operation
in
Lion's
fucking
Roar. So different names for the
1984.
ship.
Like,
There's one
this
US
is
name and one
psychotic.
Israeli name. We will all be called upon to show patience.
The only
and
thing
oh,
you can do
patience.
is laugh
He's
at
saying
it.
patience. You know what that means, right? This shit's gonna last for a long ass motherfucking time, bro. Together we
Laugh
will
and
stand, together
cry.
we will fight, and together we will ensure the eternity of Israel. Guys, these are absolute religious psychopaths. Can we just say it? They believe the most ridiculous things. This guy believes the illegal Israeli settlers who are stealing land from Palestinians in the West Bank on a daily basis, they can do that because God gave them that land. Okay? You heard Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee is saying, yeah, let Israel take the entire Middle East because in order for the rapture to come true and Jesus to come back on a winged horse, we need Israel to have all the territory. This is who's running the world. This is who's running the world. Warmongering psychopaths who are in a fucking cult. That's what this is. All right, here it is. At least 24 killed at a girls' elementary school in Iran by U.S. and Israeli
This
strikes.
one's sad.
Jesus Christ, at least 24 killed. When I first saw this, the number was lower, and the number has been steadily rising since then.
It's so sad. I can't watch this, sorry.
Jason Hickel says, bombing Iran in the middle of negotiations, while starving Cuba, while genociding Palestinians, while threatening to invade Greenland, the U.S. and Israel are the single greatest threat to humanity, and it's not even close. We are all forced to live in the nightmare they create.
Yep.
Guys, we are run by a bunch of pedophile billionaire sadists who are creating the Fourth Reich. At this point, I am very comfortable with the comparison to the Nazis.
Oh, yeah.
Pedophile
Oh, yeah.
billionaire sadists. That's what they are.
Well, like, again, the Nazis learned from watching us. like they learned it from us. How we treated black people, like Jim Crow, all that shit. It's widely regarded that Hitler based a lot of his policies off of America. And so like, it's really like we were the original Nazis before the Nazis, and then the Nazis came in. It was only by pure happenstance and like, I don't know, I would say potentially tactical misfire by Japan of attacking us that we got involved at all. But like, I really think that like we ideologically aligned a lot more with the Nazis than we did the USSR, which was fighting back against the Nazis. So, yeah.
Pedophile billionaire sadists every single step of the way here. And I think, here's the thing though, I think people are waking up to that fact. They are waking up to the fact
Russia.
that these are like satanic,
The USSR
demonic
was around
people.
then, right?
Vice President J.D. Vance said, quote, I think that we have to avoid overlearning the lessons of the past. Just because one president screwed up a military conflict doesn't mean we can never engage in military conflict again. Yeah, bro, that's the lesson of Iraq. The lesson of Iraq is, let's not be too anti-war. The lesson of wasting over $8 trillion in the Middle East. Let's not be too crazy with our anti-war perspective. Has there ever been another human being this vapid, this vacuous, this empty, this much of a husk of a human being who believed in absolutely nothing, more so than J.D. Vance? I genuinely don't think so. I think this is one of the most empty people in the fucking planet. Okay? Look at this one.
I mean, he
So,
just sold his soul for
in
power.
October
Like, that's
of
the
2024,
story of
Drake
America.
and Stephen Miller went back and
And like, in America, you have to sell your soul if you want power. Like, the epitome of that is Jeffrey Epstein. Like, if you do not sell your soul, then you will not attain power. Or at least that's how it's historically been in America. You can attain some semblance of power with people power, like with significant amounts of people to make the oligarchs and the billionaires sweat enough to then influence them to give us something, right? Like with Social Security and Medicare after the Great Depression. But in general, if you want power in America, you have to sell your soul.
Forth, Jenk said, so I didn't hear you answer the question. Will Trump help Israel with the war starting with Iran? Will he finance it? Will he use the U.S. military to help Israel fight that war? You can't say no, because you know he's going to do everything Israel asks him to do. And when that happens, you'll pretend it was self-defense. You had to do it. Special ally. We have to show how tough we are, and you'll get us mired in a giant war in the Middle East. Just like Dick Cheney. And all along, you'll pretend you were against war as you do it endlessly. And Stephen Miller says, Jenk, I don't know how I can be more clear. Trump will end and prevent war in the Middle East. He wants peace. Harris and her neocon cabinet want war, war, and more war. Will you lie, and do more lies? That's what you do. That's what you do, because there is no doubt Kamala Harris would not have done all this
It's
shit.
OP, dude.
There's
Lying's
no,
OP.
Even if you have criticisms of her on
And
foreign
guess
policy,
what? Guess what? Even after this, even after this Iran war situation that we're doing, no matter how terrible it is, all the same types of people, the next time it happens, will do the exact same thing again. They will pretend like they're against war until it happens, and then they will be pro-war all the way. Like, it will, we live in hell. I keep saying it. We live in hell. This is hell. It's a purgatory of our own making. We redo the same thing over and over again as we slowly descend into madness. Like,
or on other issues, which I do. There's no fucking way she would have kidnapped or abducted Maduro in the middle of the night, stolen Venezuelan oil, and put hundreds of millions of dollars of their wealth in her own private bank account in Qatar. Wouldn't have happened. She wouldn't have murdered over 130 innocent fishermen in the Caribbean like Trump did. She wouldn't
That's
be saying, I'm going to
probably
fucking
true.
annex Panama, and I'm going to annex
That's all
Greenland
true.
and steal
That's
it,
all
and I'm
true.
going to bomb Mexico. And she wouldn't have bombed Nigeria, right? Like, let's stop with the false equivalence
probably,
bullshit
maybe.
in the year
I don't know.
2026. Let's leave that in the past, okay? Because look at how brazenly, how blatantly, how overtly these sick sons of bitches lie to your face. Breaking: explosions in Jubair, Bahrain,
Ooh,
where
let's watch
US
some of the
Naval
fun
Base
stuff
and
now.
5th Fleet headquarters is located. Here we go. Look at this.
the retaliation. These are the ones I can get behind. These are the bomb strikes I can get behind.
Missile threat warning. Carbon shelter immediately. Shelter in place. Missile threat warning. Carbon shelter immediately. Shelter in place.
So, I can confirm they've definitely hit a bunch of U.S. bases already, okay? So, some people were debating what's happening here on Twitter, and one person said, like, well, hey, we had to
Each one of those bases are like billions of dollars, by the way, of our tax dollars.
attack Iran. They back terrorist organizations. Look at this. Quote, they back terrorist organizations, and look at the picture. It's Trump with a literal Al-Qaeda leader who now we installed as the head of Syria. It's incredible that these people argue these things with a straight face. Breaking: satellite images show Ayatollah Khamenei's official residence completely destroyed. Completely destroyed. Now, was he in there? We don't know yet, right?
We
don't
do
know.
know at this
I
point
mean,
that he was.
they've expected,
I
they knew
think.
this attack
It
was
was
coming, I
confirmed
think,
by-
for quite a while, as soon as the most recent military buildup started happening a couple weeks ago. And so they probably adjusted and made new plans. But we'll see. We'll see how good the internal intelligence was that outed the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Council.
Let's see
But
what
this is
else
what they're
we
doing.
got
They're going for the
to
whole
watch.
thing. They're going for the whole regime change. By the way, the ultimate goal is to just make Iran a failed state. That's the goal.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
want Iran to be a failed state. Because then, like with Lebanon, they could just go in there and bomb it whenever the fuck they want. There's no defenses whatsoever. It's what's called Balkanized. It's sectarian. So you have like warring clans from within the country, and they want death and they want destruction, and they want nothing to get in the way of them creating a
Okay.
greater Israel. Okay?
I'm done with Kyle.